reverse mortgage in their life? Okay, who hasn't? Just get a sense. Who's never done a reverse? Awesome, good. Okay, perfect. You guys just do forward mortgages, but you want to enter the world potentially of reverse mortgages. Great. There's no money in it, and the clients are like ready to go right out of the gate, right? Yeah. Good. Well, so we're going to learn how to instantly increase your reverse loan closings by dramatically increasing your HECM, altering your HECM sales presentation, and do it in less than 5 minutes. So if you're a brand newbie and you're a forward LO, I'm kind of seeing you guys that raised your hand and gals. This is for you. If you're a veteran, this is for you. So I'm going to share a couple of things that I learned over the several years I've done this. I know we're getting started, so if I go too fast, I don't get through all of the content, there's a little QR code and you can watch me virtually tell you. Okay, so who am I? I think it's important. Whenever I go to a presentation, right, I want to know, like, okay, who's the person that is talking and what's their history? So I'm going to give you a little history. Former national top producer, reverse mortgage top producer, did a lot of purchase business. Some of those that raised their hand, anybody do purchase, HECM for purchase? Okay, perfect. The reason I started doing HECM for purchase, I was tired of doing small little open up a line of credit and doing all this work and, well, honestly, not making a lot of money. I still do that stuff, honestly, but I like the purchase because there's more of a sense of urgency to it. People are more motivated, they're excited, and I like that. So that's why I started doing it. I wrote a book called Double Your Retirement Dollars. We sent this book, whoops, what is going on? We sent this book out to all of the different states where retirees migrate to. We generated leads with that, which put my purchase business really on the map in terms of national production. Former H4P leader at Fairway, reverse. And then, anybody know Harlan? Harlan left by default. Everyone's like, who wants to lead this thing? And everybody stepped backwards and I was standing there. So I got to lead Fairway Reverse for 1 year. And I'm super excited to be part of C2 now and present kind of what I'm sharing with you guys today. So, but a lot learned there. One of the things I'm going to share with you is at Fairway we sent out, proposals. A proposal for your forward people is about 70 pages long and it's a bunch of gobbledygook that confuses the you-know-what out of our clients. And so what our wonderful loan officers at Fairway would do is they would send these packages out to clients or borrower prospects expecting that they would be ready to do a loan with them. Right? We converted about 1,000 of those, still out of 9,000-ish. So what I want to share with you is some strategies and tactics to not blow up people with 70-page proposals initially and actually convert them. What a concept, right? And help them to understand how reverse is going to work from them. I've personally closed over 1,100, probably more than that, but that's a lot of loans in the reverse space for you forward people. I know you close 1,000 a month, but, in the refi boom, but it's a lot on the reverse side. And then I created this thing called the HECM Toolbox and software that is a sales and education presentation and conversion tool for reverse mortgage professionals, okay? So I'm gonna share a little bit about that today. So after 20 years of doing this, what I learned was reverse mortgages are complex, confusing financial instruments, right? And so what we do is we take the complex and make it simple to understand. And so I started doing this. After 20 years, I learned this. I actually started doing this about 15 years ago. I developed this presentation that really helped to convert the borrower prospect. And I use pictures, little circles, pie charts, graphs that are simple to understand. Most people are visual learners. If you Google, what's the percentage of people that are visual learners, it says 5% or something. I think it's probably 90%. Would you agree? I mean, honestly, I need to see pictures. I actually ask people when they're trying to explain something, could you draw that for me? I like books with lots of pictures. I know Shane, he likes picture books with no words, right? I got to get back at you for all the times you're up here in this position, right? Am I right? And I developed this sales presentation to not only borrower prospects, but also what I call lead getters. You know what a lead getter is, right? It's a referral partner. They get us leads, so I call them lead getters. So 2 lead getters, referral partners, financial advisors, realtors, banks, credit unions, That's not a bad place to fish if you haven't fished there. And what I found is they're visual learners too. They like to just keep it simple, and that's what I did. So when I started this visual representation of a reverse mortgage, the first year I started doing this, my business doubled. I had about 41, you can see the little chart here, about 41, 42 transactions that year. And when I started to show pictures using PowerPoint pie charts, copying from our reverse vision at the time, that's our LOS for people, and we'd copy that into PowerPoint, and I get these pie charts, and I started presenting it. It took me about 30 minutes to create each one of those. And when I was sending thousands of books out and generating all these leads, I would have 5 to 6 meetings a day. So I'd have assistants creating these reports for me, took them 30 minutes, and I would present it. Then they'd come back and they'd say, hey, that's a really great, we understand it, but what if we bought a house for this much? Could you do that report and create that for us again? And I'm like, oh, geez. Yes, but the reason I kept doing it is because it worked. And the clients had this epiphany when they saw the pictures, they could internalize it. And the words I use to describe their understanding of position, it gives them a powerful calm. Have you ever done a reverse mortgage and showed them a comparison and amortization spreadsheet and pointed to everything? Here's your max claim amount, here's your principal limit, here's your UPB, okay, here's all the MIP over time, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you go, does that make sense? Does that make sense? You're ready to go? And what do? They're like, yeah, sure. And body language is like, they don't get it at all, right? They don't get it at all. And that doesn't give them a powerful calm. That gives them stress and anxiety, and they go home, and if they're a couple, they're like, don't you get it, honey? Yeah, but I don't get this, right? And so we don't need that. We already have enough challenges and hurdles to get over because everybody hates reverse mortgages, right? So let's, at least when we get to the table with someone, let's show them how it works so that they have that powerful calm. So I doubled my business. I did over 100 loans that year, and it kept continuing along that upward trajectory. So I would, if you get anything out of this, change the way you present and start, if you have to draw pictures on a notepad, do it. There's a top producer, she's in Arizona. She's just like, Tane, I've always drawn charts like that. Because everything we have doesn't work. So I discovered this the hard way. I figured it out, but guess what? You get to cut to the front of the line. All you smart people that came to this, and there's liquor flowing out there, I'm impressed. and the price you paid for these tickets. Gee. All right, so here's the hard way, right? You remember for people, you may never seen this stuff before, but this is what we show people that are 75, 80 years old, and we just, that's how we explain it. So the hard way is this is what most of us do. We're given this LOS system, which is usually quantum. Most people use quantum. And this is what they give us for the sales presentation, right? It doesn't really work very well. And it's confusing, and so we have dismal results. So I'm still originating. Shane, I spend about 5 hours a week originating reverse. That means... He does pretty good on that. And I started about April, really, hey, I'm back originating, everybody. And actually joined a networking group, which I've never done, a Chamber of Commerce thing. And I'm closing a couple loans a month. But I spend most of my time working on these tools and strategies to help others come to the right side from the dark side and showing these retirees or almost retirees how HECM works with pictures. All right. And what I found is, my whole point here is I don't have to talk to a lot of people. I don't get lots of leads. My phone does not ring off the hook. I get a lead here, I get a lead there, but when I present to them and they qualify, they do it because they have that powerful calm. I don't have to buy thousands of leads and hope that I get a conversion. I don't want that. I want to just get referrals here and there, close my couple loans a month, right? So I can, again, spend more time here. All right, so here's the 3 secrets I'm going to share with you. Number 1, I doubled my business, changing the way I presented our prospects, which I talked about, and I'm going to show you a little bit more of that. The second thing is I easily partnered with high-quality lead getters, referral partners. Why? Because they're the same. They get the powerful calm after we show them how it works. And then third, you only need, like I just touched on, only need a few leads here and there to have a high conversion rate. What if you got 10 leads a month and you converted at 80% of those? Oh, wait, how many loans is that? That's 8 loans. Whoa, right? What if you could do that? I think you can do that. So because you're educating your lead getters, showing them pictures, and then when they send you people, they're qualified people, and then you show them the HECM using this pie chart formula, the sales strategy that I used, and then you can convert them. Now, they still might take some time. I had somebody that came 5 or 6 months ago. Well, we're going to wait till rates come down. Okay, well, right? Well, they're doing counseling next week. So it takes some time, right, sometimes with these people. So the first thing, how I double my business, again, people are visual learners, so we need to have something very easy for them to understand visually. We take out the complex terminology, amortization. If you can see that, yeah, you can see that from back there, right? Max claim amount. For you forward people, you guys know what a max claim amount is? And I know you know reverse. Forward people know, right? It's the value of the house, the purchase price, annual totals. We have these other things in here. Lisa semi-annual disbursement, life expectancy set-asides. Good grief. This is terrible. We're doing it to ourselves. Shane and I learned on Monday, we don't have a 2% market penetration. We have a 1/8 of 1% market penetration and 30 million people that, 30 million households that could use a reverse mortgage that haven't yet qualify. So we stink at our sales process and our messaging, right? Would you agree, those who do it? Yeah, okay. I don't want to beat that dead horse, but you get my point. Max claim out, UPB, all this stuff, we don't want to show this. So we're not going to start there. When we first have our initial conversations, we're not going to have comparisons and amortizations and pull that out and send them a 70-page proposal and pray to God that they're going to send it back and go, let's roll. They're not going to do that, likely. So the other thing that I found is I could easily partner with high-quality lead getters. I show this to a financial advisor. We all think of financial advisors are just PhD brilliance, right? They're salespeople like we are. They need to see pictures, right? Let's simplify it. If we want to get into the Wade Fowles, sequence of returns and all that, let's do that later. But tell me about your people that are drawn down on their assets too quickly because they're paying a mortgage. Let me show you visually how, if we paid out that mortgage, how much money they'll have each month. And what if we showed them a line of credit that grows over time to access a tax-free source of, not income, but tax-free source of cash flow, right? Another Roth IRA that we pulled out of thin air from the housing wealth, okay? So that gives them a powerful calm. They want to work with us because they see how we present to them. We articulate, this is exactly how I will present it to anyone you refer to me. Wow, cool. And I'll share this with you. So you'll be able to integrate that into the overall financial plan. Same with real estate agents, showing them how purchasing power can be boosted and increased based on an all-cash buyer versus using a HECM, a cash-strapped all-cash buyer, potentially, all right? So that really helps out. And you can see here what I've done is this is a 2.0 version of my PowerPoint presentations. So taking the complex reverse mortgage, going through the HECM tool, and then making it simple. Complexity to simplicity. That's what the HECM tool does, and the HECM tool sales strategy that I've been delivering to people who are interested. So, and you can do this on PowerPoint, and if you want to have access to this system, totally can, or you can build out PowerPoint presentations. I can give you the formula for that. It's a 30-minute plus process, but it works just not as well. And this is anyway, really fast. So this is just an example of comparing a HECM CMT5 to an all-cash purchase. So if a realtor calls me and says, Tane, we got a problem. I've got a cash buyer. They're going to sell their house. They want to list their house, but they're looking around, and there's nothing that they can buy for $500,000 in this market area. I'm showing them just garbage, right? And they don't want to move because they can't move to a place and pay cash and not have a mortgage payment. Why? Because people who are retired or almost retired, are looking to not have a mortgage payment. They want to make memories, right? Not mortgage payments. So how do we make that happen? And the realtor's going, I got 2 sales on the line, a listing and a sale. I got to figure this out. Last resort. Don't think of me as the last resort. Think of me as a first resort, and send them to me. So they send them to me, and I show how if 100% of your cash is going to pay for this home of $500,000. I wish I had a laser pointer, but here we go. $500,000 at age 74, 100% of that pie is going to pay for that $500,000 home, right? Here's the problems or challenges with paying all cash. You've got opportunity costs, home value drops. Over here, you can go with a little leverage using the home equity conversion mortgage. And if you bought a $500,000 home and you use the HECM, you have a loan here, the red slice, and the green slice, you have cash to close. But it's the HECM loan amount is $214, the cash to close is $306. We don't call this principal limit. We don't call the purchase price the max claim amount. And so we say if you bought a house for $500,000, you would have $193,489 to shove in your pocket and go have fun with, and still be able to say buy the same $500,000 house. Okay? Or I know you can't find a house for $500,000. It's a van down by the river, right? So, well, they take the wheels off it to make it look like a house. But we're going to increase your purchasing power with this HECM to $822,565. So now do you think, realtor, you can find them a house for $822,000? Well, yeah, I mean, they're falling in love with homes that are $700,000. Obviously, it's $200,000 away from where they're really at. So, okay, let's show them a $700,000 purchase and what that looks like and how this all breaks down. And we show them they even won't have any payments, just like if they paid cash. Okay, so does that make sense to people? Now that potential home buyer is now looking at, let's go ahead and list our house. We'll take that $500,000, we'll buy a $700,000 house, and we'll have a little cash left over to buy the F word, furniture, right? Sorry, that was kind of silly, but you know what I mean. All right. So this example, now they boosted up to $700,000. We have a HECM loan amount of $299, cash to close of $426. They have how much when they sell their house? $500. Someone's paying attention. Good. $500,000. So they're going to have an extra. Do the math. 500 minus 426, right? They'll have an extra 75 grand or whatever, 74, that they get to put in their pocket. And but this time we're comparing it to something different. Because they go, you know what, Tane, we were thinking about getting a conventional loan, and we would put $500,000 down and maybe get a conventional loan. And so we can compare, I'm going to walk over here. We can compare the conventional loan and say, well, we're going to compare apples to apples and say, hey, this is how much cash you're going to have roughly to close and loan amount. And so monthly payments of $23,000 a year and $1,900 a month. And this tool you can adjust the down payment, so if they want to put a little more money down or a little less money down or whatever, you can do that. But we're trying to compare a little bit more to apples. And so we can just compare and say, look, you're going to have this payment that is going to be $2,000 a month. Would you like to have that, or would you like to not have that? And most people, when they look at the difference, they just don't want to have that. But guess who would be happy to do either one if you presented it this way? I'll do a forward or a reverse, right? So now you don't have to lose the loan. So if you work with a 62-year-old home buyer, show them this. I mean, I think last time I checked, a reverse mortgage is a lucrative option for a loan officer to close compared to a conventional mortgage. Not that we would steer. If this is being recorded, we do not steer. But it's our fiduciary responsibility as a loan officer licensed in the state of California or wherever else to show the options if they're available to said borrower. So the reality is you should show them a HECM and a conventional, right? You need to. You have to, really. So why wouldn't you have a simple tool to do that? This is just some inputs. If we want to do a refinance, standard reverse, okay? Not a HECM to HECM. For you forward people, that means refinancing a reverse to another reverse. And there's opportunity in that. And I know you guys like it when it's a refi boom. When you have a HECM refi boom, Katie barred the door to your bank account. What's that? That's what I said. Katie barred the door to your bank account. You don't guys know Stephen Marshall? Remember him, Stephen Marshall, back in the day? So he told me one time, he goes, Tane, it's like every time I come to the office, a dump truck is backing up, beep, 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 and dumping money in my office. It's like that times 5 or 6 when it comes to doing HECM to HECM refis. This is a regular standard reverse mortgage. We just need simple inputs for this. What's your value? What's your mortgage balance? Do you have a payment, principal, and interest? And we can compare different options. I'm just showing you some slides and if we have time, I'll jump and give you a live demo. But I just want to give you an idea of the simplicity, the complex to the simple. This is just comparing a HECM CMT5 to a HECM CMT5, a variable 5 to a variable 5, and line of credits available. One option, we're going to take a little less cash out than the maximum cash out. And so we can do some different adjustments on the fly and do it really quickly. So why wouldn't we if we can do that? Well, Tane, I don't really want to get 41,000, where that number is out. Yeah, cash requested 41,000. But I'd like to take like 10. So we can just, hey, well, let's compare, and then we can show the equity position over time, which is a bar chart, a bar graph, that's, again, making it simple, versus a spreadsheet of year-by-year amortization. Now, for the engineers in the crowd, which we have them, I don't know what the percentages of the population that are they want to see all the spreadsheets. We can show them the spreadsheets. We can go into Quantum and do Control Q and do all that stuff. But what we're doing here is we just want to give them that powerful calm where they're like, okay, I get this. Hey, but Tane, what if? So we can do what ifs till the cows come home, right? But we want to get them to the point where they say 2 things. And they will say this when you present this way. Mark my words, if they don't say this and you get enough repetitions at this, they will say, and they say this to me directly, Tane, why isn't everybody doing this? That is a reverse mortgage. Why isn't everybody doing this? And what do we do next? And I know that they have, it's hit them. They figured it out that this is for them and they want to move on. And so what do? Well, now we do, we're going to set you up for counseling. We're going to prepare a comparison and an amortization schedule. And we're going to prepare this thing called the total annual loan cost thing. And it's all a bunch of stuff that you're going to go over with the counselor. I'm going to review it with you here a little bit. But once you get to that review, they're like, oh yeah, remember we talked about loan amount? That's right here. We call that a UPB, or we call that the principal limit, or we call, oh yeah. Well, don't tell me, it's the government. They come up with all these terms that are really confusing. So we get them from here to there, and now they're off to the races, right? So does that make sense to everybody? Okay, great. We can print out a PDF report. So what ends up happening is we go through this type of presentation with the borrower prospect and or the referral partner, the lead getter. And oftentimes they're not like, okay, well, let's go. They'll like, hey, we want to think about this. We're not quite sure which home purchase we want to do, what, Great, let me just do a recap video for you. I'm going to, anybody use BombBomb here or Loom? Okay, so I'm going to create a little recap video, 5 minutes recapping our conversation. I'm going to email that to them with an attachment of a PDF of the report. And I'm going to ask them, is there anybody else in your life, your sphere of influence, your financial advisors, your kids, are they going to be wanting to know, or do you want them to know what you're thinking about doing? Yeah, why don't you include our son? Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, financial advisor. I don't know if he even knows about these things. Okay, well, let me do that. I'm going to include those people, CC email with this presentation, because they're going to go to them and go, hey, we want to buy this house using a reverse mortgage. And they're going to go, no, you're not, right? So we want to get out in front of the deal killers. And not to be condescending to the son and the financial advisor, but they kill deals on arrival, DOA. Why? Because they have more influence in their life than we do. We just entered their life, right? So we want to get in front of that. And then the advisor, when they review that, they're going to say, what? Yeah, we're going to help preserve some assets under management. And guess what? They're going to have more cash from the sale of their home. They need to know what to do with that $200,000. Is that okay? Of course, they're going to go, yeah, that's more than okay. And I got a bunch of other clients I'm going to refer to you. So we want to make sure that we include those people that could potentially really kill the deal. All right. Does that make sense to people? Yep. So we make it really easy, and then we follow up with this recap video. So have you seen enough a little bit about what this software tool does? Okay, so I want to give you some executable ideas on how you can leverage this type of presentation. You could do it obviously one-on-one with borrower prospects or lead getters. You can do it a lunch and learn. I would do lunch and learns with financial advisors and client appreciation events. And mostly I would talk about the purchases and get to line of credit and some different things you can do there. Those work amazingly well because it's database acquisition, right? They're inviting their clients and you're adding value to their clients, and that advisor or realtor, they're going to get business from it. Small group explanation. I was in a coffee meeting 2 weeks ago with a whale. You guys know what a whale is, right? A realtor that's kicking it. She's closed like 48 transactions this year. And she's like, Tane, I got the seller that they're priced way too high. They're in ministry. They need to get as much money out of this as they can. They don't have any retirement plan. They need to buy another house, and they want to pay cash for that house. So they don't want a payment, and they want to have all this money to put back into their investment account so they have money for retirement. But they have to sell for top dollar. And I just flipped open my laptop. I went through the HECM tool, and I said, here's how this could work. And we were able to buy more house than they were thinking of buying, and have cash that they could invest with no payment. And she's like, okay, this gives me an excellent opportunity to say, we need to lower your home price so we can get this sold, and you need to talk to Tane about how this retirement mortgage or home equity conversion mortgage can work. For those of you who love the word reverse, bless you. For me, I just go with what people love and not hate, right? Because most people don't like the word reverse, so I like to say home equity conversion mortgage. And so I will teach my lead getters, that particular agent, use these words. Tell them, you need to talk to Tane. He's got this retirement mortgage, home equity conversion mortgage that is great for people that are looking to retire, almost retire, and he's got some opportunity for you. I don't know a whole lot about it. He's the expert. Let him tell you, but I think this is going to work better for you than anything else we've looked at. Okay, great. So I have an opportunity to talk with him. I've had realtors say, I think I've got them talked into doing a reverse mortgage with you. I gave them your number. Okay. They don't ever call. Can I get his number? Yeah, here it is. I call, he picks up, or I get voicemail, I leave a message, I call again, I got this weird recording. This number is no longer whatever, and I'm like, wait a second. That's the recording that happens when they block your number. And this guy needed it, he was in Florida, I'll never forget it. So why is that? Because he used the word reverse. That's just my stance. You guys might disagree with me, and I don't care, that's fine. What do we do with financial advisors? We show them a free and clear property. And in terms of sales, when we're talking to advisors, we're talking to realtors, let's just consider one opportunity with that. What I mean by that is ask questions. I don't want to get into all of what I do from that side of the equation as far as how I interview and have discovery with advisors, new advisors, and financial, realtors, et cetera. Have a set of pocket questions. Be interested, not interesting. You ever heard that, right? I'm interested in you. I'm going to ask you questions. And that also gives you control of the conversation because we're all control freaks, right? Give me the microphone. I'm a control freak. So just ask questions, but then take those questions and come back with solutions or a solution. Hey, you mentioned to me that you've got a number of clients that are retired that are making mortgage payments, and a fair amount of those are going to run out of money before they run out of time. I think we got an opportunity to serve those clients. Let me show you how that works, right? I'm going to take a comparison of refinancing a traditional mortgage to a HECM and how much money they're going to save, and eliminating that mortgage payment. And so there's the opportunities. Lots of opportunities as financial advisors. Shane, you could be teaching this for sure. Eliminate mortgage payments, short to close. The HECM tool shows why it makes sense to pay down that mortgage. You're going to pay out, you're short to close. you're going to pay down that mortgage by 48 grand, but you're going to save $2,300 a month in monthly payments. You're going to recoup that in X amount of months. It's simple, but people don't think that way. Their advisor's going to go, we're going to pull that money out and get rid of that payment because I can't get you a $2,300 a month return unless you have $750,000 invested at 4% return safe money, whatever the number is, right? So, but people don't think like that, so we want to be able to show them that, okay? There's some other ideas: buying a home, acquisition indebtedness, taxes, all that sort of thing. We started late, but I want to let you guys loose whenever you want to get loose here in a few minutes. Real estate agents and executable ideas for builders. The lost listing, we're going to get that listing, we're going to help that buy a home. Listing and a sale on a second home, you got extra cash after you sell your house, get some cash, don't pay cash on the next house, do a HECM for purchase. Oh, I got extra cash. I happen to live in Washington in the winter, it sucks. I want to have a little bit extra dough to buy that home in Phoenix, right? And that happens. Snowbird, right? Now we can help them achieve that dream. Listing and a sale to help the next generation buy a home. Instead of buying that home in Phoenix, that second home, now what am I going to do? I'm going to lead with a give with a warm hand. I'm going to give that to my grandkid who wants to buy his first house. I can do that with this strategy, right? Helping the next generation, 2 to 4 unit property. I have only done one of these, but it's pretty powerful in terms of wow factor. You can buy a 4-unit property with a HECM and rent out the other 3 units, and there's a double your retirement dollar strategy right there, right? No payment. How they can boost their budget with the HECM for purchase. Obviously, we have a lot of seniors that aren't going to qualify for conventional financing. You forward people who've never done a reverse. Have you had someone 62 and over that didn't qualify for conventional financing? You had to say, I can't help you. I have before I understood what reverse was. Builder upgrades. Whew, yeah. So many people go to these 55 and over communities and they're looking at these houses and they're like, dream come true. And then they look at the price sheet and say, nightmare, right? So what do? We can help that dream come true and get rid of the nightmare because they've got $500-600 cash, they don't have $700 or $800, and they don't qualify for a mortgage and they don't want a payment, so a HECM for purchase. And we just closed one with Lennar and they're like, wait, what? How did this happen? They're like blown away. And now is the time. 2 years ago, builders wouldn't give us the time of day. They had people, Margaritaville in Florida, I think it was like 18 months waiting list to be on a lottery to see if you could buy one of their homes. Do you think they want to hear from us? They don't need us. Now they need us. Now they need us, okay? Banks and credit unions, that is one of the best kept secrets for generating referrals on HECMs. They're looking for a solution. They're turning down seniors every day that are looking for a HELOC because they're broke like everybody else, right? They don't have enough income and inflation's killing them. So we have a solution for that. Refinance turndowns. People who have HELOCs that are in this demographic and they're not able to make the payments. They want to hear from us. And they will say, if you're not afraid to go in there and talk to them, right, and be reluctant to make that call, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for someone like that I can refer these reverse requests to. Anybody ever talk to a bank or credit union manager? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we should have everybody raise their hand next year. So yeah, if you want, take a pictures of this stuff. If you want the slide deck, happy to share it. Consumer executable ideas are kind of the same stuff, right? Same stuff. And again, happy to share this stuff with you. Deliver screen capture, like I'd mentioned. Canva is a great tool, or not Canva, but CapCut's a great tool if you haven't used that for video. It's really easy to use. Social media stuff, I want to get through it a little bit more. So we've talked about a lot. I want to share with you a little bit how you can kind of get cut to the front line on some of this stuff. Give you some executable ideas. But if you want to try this out, if you want to improve your presentation, you can. I'm going to give you a QR code. I think you should all have a flyer. You can hit that, or you can hit this, and we'll send you out within next week. We'll send you out a.
Answer could be in the name, but does this work on proprietary
Not yet, but we are going to, because there's so many moving parts with the way proprietaries change. So all this data that you see that's coming in the pie charts all comes from quantum. So we have the ability to bring the proprietary in, but I think probably Q1. And I know there's a lot of California high-value people in here, right? So, but yeah, that'll be available. Yeah. So did anybody get an opportunity to snap that? You just fill out your information. You'll be on the list. We'll send it to you. So here's some things that I am including with this HECM tool. I call the HECM tool sales system. So the HECM tool sales system conversion software, which I showed you, this is unlimited customers, borrowers, et cetera. This lead generation system, I call it foolproof, right? I mean, Julie kind of touched on it, but when you show this to people, lead getters and borrower prospects, you end up converting these people, and you do it fast. So I have this system, I call it the Cutco Knives system. So you get a new presentation, whether it's this one or you create your own, I don't care. You go and you call your friends, and anybody ever get sold Cutco? Okay, a few. Well, what does Cutco teach? Hey, kids, go out and talk to your parents first, then go talk to your parents' friends, then go talk to your neighbors, and just call them and say, hey, we want to present, I'm starting this new gig, and I just want to practice on you. I want to practice. Well, sure, come practice on me. Next thing you know, you just bought $5,000 worth of Cutco knife. Am I right? So that's the same process. Hey, I've got this new presentation. I want to kind of, sharpen it a little bit, give me some feedback. Go to your realtor partners that you work with. Go to your advisors you work with. Show it to them, and they're going to be like, whoa, okay. I didn't know that's what it was. That's pretty cool. So Cutco knife, just stuff like that. And it's all sort of embedded, all these videos and trainings that I present that you can copy, take what you want. It's all embedded in the software. So you just go to the little question mark and go to the knowledge base, and you can watch a 5-minute, 10-minute video, how you do a recap video. Here's how I do it. So that's how do you get a 10x on your borrower conversions. That's a pretty hefty value. Now, who does this work for? Seasoned reverse LOs. They're the hardest because they got their way, right? They got their way. My way is the best way. Old dog, new tricks kind of thing, right? So, but there are some top producing reverse LOs that are using it with success. Brand new reverse LOs, super. Our daughter just started doing reverse. She's just cranking out reports, HECM tool reports, and doing a good job. Technology challenged. The process of learning this is 5 minutes. It's super easy for people who don't like technology or don't want to learn new software. Traditional forward LOs, you guys, I saw you raise your hands. Everybody's of traditional forward LO. If I had this, I wouldn't have had to Christopher Columbus this thing and stumble through it and just screw up royally. This is an easy way for you you don't even have to get into quantum reverse. You could just use this tool and then Shane can speak to this, have a processor, somebody help you with the proposal package and all that at one of our lenders we work with. TMAC, Mutual, Longbridge, they'll all help. And then producing branch managers, et cetera. So this is Steve. Steve had used the tool with someone he was working on for 4 years to convert. He showed him a HECM tool report, and the guy literally, this is a direct quote, I really like the illustration you provided. It makes sense to me. And then he said, I've seen enough. I'm ready to have you work on the application. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This forward loan officer uses Mortgage Coach. He says, just like Mortgage Coach. I get to send this out, videos, just like Mortgage Coach. It works really well. I'm not going to play this. I have a financial advisor that contacted me. I don't know if I can. Okay, this is where I might need to. So here we're going to do, I do these videos. You guys can watch me walk through how you do standard reverse short to close, standard reverse, standard HECM versus ARM fixed. I don't want a fixed rate. I know I lived in the 80s. Carter killed me. Okay, we'll show them why they want an ARM. Show them, not tell them why. We'll show them why. Standard HECM compared to ARM, varying cash requested at closing, lead objections. We get a lot of objections. We actually cover the objections that they're already thinking about before they actually verbalize them. It's not hard, but if you don't know how to do it, boy, you can cut to the front of the line. I'll show you. Okay, then purchase HECM versus all cash, conventional. There's that. So I'm going to do a monthly sales call. strategy. All the recordings will be included in the tool, so you'll be able to reference those for forever. So all this stuff, it's 18 grand. But what's it worth? What's it worth? What if you got one extra loan a year? How much do you make average loan, Shane, on a reverse?
We're averaging about $12,000.
Okay, so $12,000. Good, because that's the math. Right. Yeah, okay. Awesome. So you make 12 grand on average here, doing one reverse mortgage, and if you got an extra lead, an extra referral partner that's sending you leads that you can then convert, what is that worth? What do you make? I said 5, 10, 15. It's 12 on average here at C2. So if you got one extra loan, it's $97 for this thing. Why is it so much money? Well, because it costs a lot of money to build this stuff, and I need to keep, teaching you all these wonderful strategies. $97 is $4 a day. How much do you buy your coffee for today? So I don't know who I'm talking to in the room, but this is where I get a little bit crazy. The crazy part is there's a lot of people that play business, they play loan officer, and they don't do jack. I got my website, I got my business cards, and I heard this at the NRMLA conference, National Reverse Mortgage Conference that was here this week. Well, I'm gonna get that, but I'm not ready yet. What do you mean you're not ready to close loans? What does that even mean? It doesn't even make any, for me, it doesn't register. Just stop pretending, right? Just get to work and close a couple of loans a year. If that's what you need to supplement your income, great. But that's where I think we need to improve in this business. We have 1/8 of 1% market share. We need a whole lot more. We need to serve those 30 million households that don't know what they don't know. And if you say reverse and you show them an amortization and a comparison, if you get the chance to have that at bat, you will swing and miss most of the time. You need a way, and it doesn't have to be my way or the HECM tool strategy, sales strategy way. Just do it on a PowerPoint. Draw circles on a page. You need a way to articulate it simply to people so they understand. There, that's all I have to say, except for that 12,000 would be a 73x ROI on your investment. Let me just take a step further. If you actually employ what I'm teaching in this, and you spend $97 a month for 12 months, which is, do the math, $1,100 and almost $1,200, and you don't get one extra loan, Angie will write you a check. That's my wife, she has the money. She'll write you a check for $1,200. I mean, come on. Yeah, prove to me that you used it. All right, that's crazy. Just hit the QR code and, or not, doesn't matter. Thank you.